Hello, welcome to another special edition. Today I'm going to be making egusi soup, okay, which is also known as melon soup. I have this special way of making it, right? And I love this recipe because it tastes better and you don't have to you don't have to smell the egusi, in it. So I was able to do a little vlog in the market. I couldn't do everything because it was a whole lot. Trying to focus on what I'm buying and trying to make sure that I capture stuff. So everything I got was very, very fresh, trust me. And everything I got is as fresh as possible, right? So when I got home, I was able to clean everything as I always do. I cut the spinach, the ugu leaf, that's pumpkin. Cut my uziza leaf. I cleaned all the protein I used, so you can see in this pot, right? I have all my protein except the crayfish and my dry fish. I have cow skin, I have tripe, or you can call it shaki. I have goat meat, I have beef, and no stockfish yet. Yeah, so I washed everything, cut the cow skin into my preferred size, and then I seasoned it. Seasoned it with Knorr, and I use salt and just onion. If you're cooking egusi soup, you don't need so much spices. You just need onion, salt, and Maggi seasoning or any seasoning of your choice for taste. And then I gave it a good stir. You don't have to add water because all the protein you put already have water in it. So you allow it to cook and in its own water or steam or liquid. Just allow it to cook. I just gave it some stir and I covered it and allowed it to cook for about 20 minutes. The reason why I put everything together is because they're all soft. I was using a male goat. The beef was also soft. It's not a hard beef, and my pomo is also soft. So I just knew that I was going to use the same time to cook everything. Yeah, trust me, it was well cooked. So after 20 minutes, I came back and I checked. It was already good. So I introduced my stockfish. I already washed it with hot water. I soaked it for a while. I don't like cooking it directly because I really don't like introducing the stockfish directly because of the excess smell. I don't know. There's this, how it has this tangy smell, like, so I like to reduce it, and then after some minutes again, and then I introduced water so it's going to cook properly. Yeah, then I covered it and allowed it to cook. While that was boiling or cooking, I went ahead to prepare my egusi. I don't like to put it directly. I prefer to fry it for some minutes. Okay, so what I did was I had some leftover before, the one I used, and I turned it into a bowl, and then I introduced the one I got at the market. So what I do is, you can see there's some brown thing inside, right? That's okpei. I don't know the English name, but it's okpei and uziza seed was grinded together. So I used okpei, uziza, and that's egusi. So that's the mix. I like it like that because it gives me this very sweet aroma. When my soup is ready, then I introduce water and mix them together to make a paste here. Just make sure you mix it properly. You might want to make your paste very thick, extremely thick, but I like my own to be like this. This consistency is very perfect for me, so it gives it more time to fry, and when it's mixed inside the pot, it just comes out perfectly for me. Okay, Yeah, keep doing that and make it mix properly. You can see this is how I like my consistency. And I went back and the beef was already cooked, so I had to turn down the gas and I brought it down. You can see the goat meat looking, it was already coming off from the meat, was separating from the bone. That's how you know that your goat meat or your meat is ready. In a separate pan or in a separate pot, I will introduce my palm oil. If you have non-stick pots, I'll advise you use it because it will be easier for you to fry. Okay, so I had challenge, while frying mine. So you can see Nigeria happened to me. I was cooking and then they took the lights. So I had to do this while there was no light. You can see how the lighting has changed. It's a little bit dark now because there's no light, but it didn't stop me from doing what I want to do. So I kept, doing that. Then, sorry, I did not capture where I put the onion. So I introduced my diced onion and allowed it to fry for about 1 minute and some seconds. Then I started introducing the paste, the egusi paste into the palm oil. You can just put it in batch or you can put it at once because at the end you still fry everything together. Okay. So it was at the beginning it was not like this, so it took over how many minutes? Sorry, I didn't allow that to stay for long. So you have to keep mixing it and stirring the egusi so that it doesn't burn. And then when you are very okay that it is well fried, then you turn off your gas or bring it down. Then in the other big pots, I brought out the stock, the meats, and put in palm oil, and then I introduced a little onion and my pepper mix. I used atarugu, I used shunbo, Tatashe. Yeah, I use all of them, but not much. So after frying it, you fry it very well and make sure that your oil is coming up. That's when you know it's well fried. Then the next thing is I introduce all my protein. Then introduce all your protein and I added crayfish, to give it that beautiful aroma. So after that, you can see that it's almost boiling. But then I still stirred it, and then I introduced my egusi that was already fried, the fried egusi. This makes my cooking very easy. This makes the whole process very seamless. Okay. Once you put that, you gently stir them together because you don't want to stir like you are making swallow, like you are trying to pound something. You just gently stir and make sure everything is proper. So you properly mix and allow it to cook for some minutes. Okay. I bet you at this point everywhere in my kitchen was smiling. Not literally, but everywhere smelled good. It was giving this African vibe, that you're actually cooking something native. It's tasted and looks good. So after stirring it, I would cover it and allow it to cook for some minutes. And then when I got back, I stirred it again because at that point it was already burning. So I had to stir it to raise the ones that were burning, and mix everything properly. And while I was doing that, I brought the uziza and introduced the uziza seed. This uziza is a herbs. Okay, so you have to allow it to cook, and so that the flavor will infuse into the soup. So, and it is very good. I don't skip it when I'm making my egusi soup. I make sure that I use uziza in my egusi soup. Then I introduce isam. Yeah, I like isam as well. So you can see this soup is very rich. It has every component except crocodile. Okay, so I Gave it a good stir, gradually mixed everything and made sure that the uziza and the isam went in to every angle of the pot. Oh my god, can you see that? Just check it out. This soup is giving party vibe. You guys should patronize me, honestly, because if you taste this soup, you will always come back for more. So I had to give it a closer look. So just check it out, and you can see that everything is well combined and looking very, very perfect for a perfect egusi soup. Yeah, this is my ideal kind of egusi soup. If you like my recipe, you can try it out, okay? So then I allowed it to simmer for a while, and then I covered it. Came back, it was, you don't have to allow it stay for too long. You know, we already fried the egusi, so I didn't allow it to stay. I just wanted to cook, like simmer together, for the uziza to infuse its aroma and whole nutrients into the soup. Okay, then the next thing I did, so you can see the soup was cooking, and it's it's just giving me so much joy, and I was feeling proud at that point. So the next thing I introduced, right, was crayfish. You cannot cook egusi soup without crayfish. That's the truth. Egusi soup need a lot of crayfish, so that's what I did. And then the last thing, the last, when I say last of the last, is your ugu leaf, which is also called pumpkin. So you introduce that, and give it a very good stir. Once you have done that, please quickly turn off your gas. You are done cooking. You don't have to allow it to cook, because the heat in the food will cook the leaf, so you don't want the leaf to overcook. Okay, so that's that. I am so proud of myself at this point. You don't have to blow my trumpet, let me blow it myself. So you can see me dishing, is it plating? Yeah, I'm plating my egusi soup. So you can use it to serve it. You can serve it with any swallow of your choice. You can use tuwo masara, you can use tuwo shinkafa, you can use semo, you can use pounded yam, amala. I don't know for amala, but honestly, maybe you can use it. You can use gari, whatever swallow of your choice you can use. Okay, so this is my egusi special. Thank you so much, guys, for always supporting me. Thank you for liking, thank you for commenting, thank you for sharing. Please keep supporting me, and see you in my next one. Bye.